Hi, my name's Emily. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitching, some knitting, basically any kind of fiber craft that I get my hands into, which occasionally is a lot, but mostly cross stitching, knitting, quilting, sewing, maybe crochet. I haven't done that in a long time. A little bit about me. I'm a Kentucky native. I now make my home along the Texas Gulf Coast where I teach at a large community college. I teach English. I live here with my families, my husband, and my two kids, Katie and Sam. Their ages are 5 and 3. If you've ever watched Caroline at Off the Grid Needle Arts, and she's talked to Katie and Sam, that's my Katie and Sam. So, like I said, this is my very first Flosstube video. So I'm going to show off some of the cross stitch I've been working on. I got back into cross stitch really when quarantine started here in March. I'd been doing a little bit since before Christmas the year before, but I really started getting into it because it was helping keep me sane. So let's see what I've got going. Right now, my main project is this. This is a quick stitch Anne of Green Gables by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a quick stitch because it is 349 stitches by 312, I think, so that makes it 112,000 stitches, as opposed to some of them that can get closer to 500,000. I love this piece. It is not just because I love Anne of Green Gables. I read Anne so many times growing up, but this is so amazing. This is a masterclass in color. And I wish it would show up better on the camera. I don't have very good light here. It's nighttime, my kids are asleep. But this is so gorgeous. I counted it up and I think there are 33 different shades of green in this piece. And you can just see all the different variations. It really does get the look of a painting going. So I am 4 pages in. I'm starting to work on page 5. This grid I have drawn on with a Pilot friction pen. It will disappear when this is ironed. Also, my Kermit needle minder I got from Inconsiderate Stitch on Etsy. I will try to put a picture of what the final project would look like if I can figure out how to edit it in, but I will also have it linked in the description box. The main piece I'm working on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I'm rotating projects on the weekends, which when I tend to have more time. So like today, I actually started a new model stitch, which hopefully I'll be able to show you before too much longer. But the other things I'm working on, right now, I have, let me find it, here we go. Here's the pattern. It's Plum Street Samplers, Miss Bingley's Library. I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. So it's a line from Pride and Prejudice. And oddly enough, Caroline Bingley is being kind of a jerk when she says it. But the sentiment still remains. And I thought, I teach English. This will look good on my office wall. So what I have here is my start on this. I'm doing this 1/1 on 28 count Carolina linen with the called for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. I'm missing a Classic Colorwork. When I kitted this up last year, it was during the middle of a lot of the shortages, and my local needlework store, which isn't local, it's in San Antonio and it has since closed, unfortunately. They just couldn't get it, so I'm gonna have to order it. But I really like this so far. You can see some of the books that Caroline's holding and the roof. It's looking really pretty. And my needle minder here is from Denkai Designs on Etsy, and it's a really great needle minder too. All right, so next I have the Shooting Star Stitch Along from Workshop for Historic Stickmuster. Please forgive my German. I took French and was bad at that. So this is the first part. These are not the called for colors. I have substituted out. What I'm using here, the swirls are 775. The gray background is 535. This blue is 930, I think. I think that's 932. I may have that backwards. The stars are 435, I think. And then I have used a silver Kreinik blending filament to go along with it to give it the sparkle. Now I'm obviously not very far along with this, and unfortunately the pattern is no longer available free. You can still buy it through the Silk Stitching app and perhaps through Historic Stickmeister's website. So I'm doing this on 28 count even weave, 1/1, and I think it's turning out really pretty. This is my travel project, so this is what I do if I'm waiting in the car for a doctor's appointment, or a lot of times I take it outside when the kids are playing in the backyard. So that's what I really like that one. And I think the colors are coming out nice. I decided on the last background color, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. I'll try to update you next time, or I'll put it in the description box. Okay. Okay, so this is my last one. This is my, oh no, it's not. Okay, not my last one. We have this. This is one I actually bought on my honeymoon at a needlework store in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It is Auction Day by Stony Creek Collection, and I hate this. I hate this so much. I bought this intending to do it for my mother-in-law, who is just the most wonderful person. And here, I have not ironed this, but here it is. You know, no, it doesn't look bad. But this is 2/2 on 25 count Lugana. And the conclusion I've come to is I really, really hate Lugana. And I don't know if it's this piece or if it's all Lugana. But it seems so thin and so flimsy to me. And obviously it's stitching up just fine. I'm just being a whiner, I think, about it. And I really should get back to work on this because I've got so much done and it looks so nice. It really does. But you know, again, because I don't have a local needlework store, the closest needlework store now is in Houston, and that's 3 hours away. You know, is it the Lugana? Is it all Lugana? Is it this piece of Lugana? I don't know. And I don't want to order something and spend money on it if it comes in and I don't like it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I will probably suck it up and finish it before too much longer. This is done in DMC and with a couple of Gentle Arts shaker sampler threads. So I like that one. I like the design. I'm really not thrilled with the fabric on it. My oldest WiP. This WiP is in fact so old that I had to write away for it. And I think it says 2002. Yes, 2002. This is copyright. So I wrote away for this out of an issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch, which is now defunct, I believe. But it is this Pansies pattern, and this is, how many stitches is this? 210 by 210. Which really isn't that large, I guess. And so this is what I have of it. This is what I have done. And I have not worked on this probably since 2003. And it has been sitting in a Ziploc bag ever since. Because I don't have project bags, I have Ziplocs. Again, really pretty. You know, I'm not too worried about having to match the threads again because this again is all DMC. And this has been kept away from light, so I'm not worried about it having faded and not having not having matched anymore. So we'll see. That's on the list of things to work on. I have like I said, I have a Tiny Decisions app on my phone. So during the week I work on and then I spin the wheel. It tells me what I should work on for the other. Knitting. So I'm still a very beginning knitter. My goal is eventually to get to the point where I can knit socks. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to knit socks. So I'll get there. Right now, this is a scarf for my daughter. Not that it gets terribly cold in South Texas. It doesn't. But we had hoped that we were going to be able to make it home to Kentucky for Christmas. We obviously did not. So I didn't finish it. I'd made a scarf for my husband. I'd made a scarf for my son. Katie picked this one out. Katie Bug picked this one out. This is a Lion Brand mandala yarn. It's very soft, very nice. It's really been a pleasure to knit. I also have a start of another scarf. This is for my brother-in-law. I have just barely not dropped a stitch there. So this is just your run-of-the-mill garter stitch scarf. This is Lion Brand. I think it was the pound of yarn. And the only other thing I have going as far as knitting goes is a Christmas washcloth, which I have about halfway done, and which I have probably used the gauge too tight on. But this is just the sugar and cream cotton yarn. So I don't knit a lot. I have tendinitis in my hands, particularly in my left hand, which is odd because I'm right-handed. And it means that I have to be very careful with how much I knit and sometimes how much I stitch, because otherwise I will start going numb along these two fingers or along my thumb and then all the way down into my arm, which really is not fun. So I have to be careful about how much I knit, but I really like doing it. And my mom gave me 4 skeins of this beautiful ombre red heart. I love this color. Blue's my favorite color. She knows that, and this is just so pretty. I'm thinking about a shawl because my office gets so cold. It gets so cold, and you know, whenever I do get back into my office, August probably, I'm really looking forward to doing so. But hopefully, I will have a shawl. I'm waiting on needles. I did not have any circular needles in the size I needed for this, so I'm hoping that those will be here soon. I used some of my Christmas Amazon money to do that. Alright, so what kinds of plans do I have for 2021? All of these are completely subject to change based on my whims, which I'm not sorry. Okay, so the first one is this. This is Blessed Assurance by My Big Toe. This is very special to me because this was my great-grandfather's favorite hymn. I have actually stitched this once already and I gave it to my grandmother. I just love it. I love all of their hymn designs. I think they're great and they remind me of growing up as a kid and some of the things I did there. I have this 32 count Jobelin and lamb's wool, which I guess right there it's showing up pretty true to life. It's pretty. You know, it's Jobelin. It's a good even weave. It's probably one of my favorite things to stitch on is Jobelin. And this is done in Gentle Art sampler threads. So I have that all kitted up and ready to go whenever I want to get started on it. It's very, very quick. It was a very quick stitch the first time I did it. I don't imagine it's going to be slower the next time. So another thing I'm doing is the June Grig vintage seed packets. So there are 3 of these. These are out of print. It took me forever to find them. So there's the eggplant, the squash, the peas, and the tomato. There is the corn, the watermelon, the radish, and the carrot. Now I have done the corn and I have done the watermelon. And I've made a little change. It says down here, Fredonia, New York. And on mine, I have changed it to my hometown, Winchester, Kentucky. So I've done those two. And then this is the third one. That's got the celery and the bell pepper and the pumpkin and the cucumber. So hopefully I'm going to have, at some point, have all of these done. So I am planning to stitch all 12. Really looking forward to doing those. Also, you know, fairly quick stitch. They're really cool because this is all done in full crosses. And then this background stuff is done in tent stitch, so just the one leg. And it gives it this really neat colored pencil type background. It's a very, very nice contrast, I guess is the word I'm looking for. What else? Okay, I don't know that I'm actually going to do this year, but when I saw this up on a Stitch for Stash, or a Stash Buster, I had to get it. I adore Teresa Winsler. I love her designs. I have done a couple of her Christmas designs. I've done at least one. I did one of the Holy Family. And then I have done her Celestial Dragon. I did that for my brother one year. It was enormous and it has so many beads and it's beautiful. And then when I saw this, I really wanted the fruit ones, but I found this one and I thought, you know, I can give that a try. My mom would like that, I think. One of the things that she does is the blending threads, and I think that's so, I mean, it's genius. She creates such beautiful things with it, with blending those threads. And each one of these is, each design here is, let's see, it doesn't actually say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 80 by 90-ish. Oh, here we go. 79 wide by 429 high, if you put all of it together. So I like that. But I like all her stuff, so it doesn't matter. If it's Teresa Winsler, I'll probably stitch it. What else? Okay. This, I got this off Amazon. It's Cross Stitch Collectibles, and this is Half Sick of Shadows by Waterhouse, J.W. Waterhouse. And this painting was actually based on Tennyson's poem, The Lady of Shalott. And this is special to me because I wrote my dissertation on Tennyson's poems. So I love Waterhouse's paintings, and I think this is so gorgeous. And it will be wonderful, again, on my office with all my other literary inspired cross stitch. And this is 300 by 380 stitches. I will probably do this on a 22 count Hardanger. 1/1, which is what I'm doing with the Anne of Green Gables, which I should have said earlier. So I really like that. I like this one. There's another one, The Lady of Shalott, that's the Lady of Shalott in the boat that I plan on doing at some point. And I also want to do Mariana in the South, but I think that's Malay's painting of Mariana in the South. But again, another Tennyson poem, another painting based on a Tennyson poem. So then the last thing that I kind of have kitted up comes from this book, The Art of William Morris in Cross Stitch. So William Morris was a pre-Raphaelite artist and poet, much like Waterhouse. I've got a thing for pre-Raphaelites because I had a whole class on it. And I have done one pattern from here before, assuming I can find it. Ha! Here we go. So these are they call them the bird pillows. So there is the Strawberry Thief, which I have already done. I will try to show it off another day. There is the Woodpecker, and then this is just the bird. So I also have these kitted up and ready to stitch whenever I get to them. That's something I would like to do at some point before too long. So that's my WiP parade. Those are my plans for 2021. Plans, I say. I'm using that term very loosely. I think this is a point in the video where I need to ask you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment below if you've got questions or anything like that. Just want to chat, shoot me a comment below. And other than that, be kind to somebody, and it's okay if that somebody's you.